Bunker 88 is a social deduction organization run via Discord. The three alignments within Bunker 88 are the Inhabitants, Pragmatics, and the Hivemind. Today, we'll be going over some basic strategy for how to survive and hopefully win as the Inhabitants. To be able to survive in the game, you should understand how your role works. In Bunker 88, there are three main sub-alignments for Inhabitants: Support, Dwellers, and Enforcers. Support roles tend to focus on helping the efforts of the inhabitants to escape, such as the worker being able to decrease the time to escape, or the general boost in the defenses of all inhabitants. You should do your best to lay low and not draw as much attention, since if you are killed, it makes the rest of your team have to work a lot harder to fend off the Hivemind. Dweller roles provide very powerful abilities, such as the Pathfinder's Double Vote or the Mechanic's Investigation of Room Tampering. With great power comes great responsibility, so using your role's kit effectively is very important. Enforcers give the inhabitants a leg up through limiting what other players can do, especially Hivemind if they use their tools properly. For instance, the Warden and Assassin both are able to kill other players at night, allowing the inhabitants to increase their numbers lead over the Hivemind. It's best to only kill someone if you are sure that they are not an inhabitant, since killing your teammates 99 times out of 100 is not very helpful. All enforcers do not have to kill when they are using their abilities, so it's best to still use part of it than not use it at all. The clock is always ticking away for the inhabitant team. Each cycle gets them one step closer to escaping, lowers their numbers, and increases the stress on the players. You are able to do a couple things at night for most inhabitant roles. Use your ability, or scavenge for items. Every inhabitant role except for the General and Pathfinder have night actions which they can use to help out another player, learn information, or stop evils. Scavenging for items gives you a 1 in 3 chance to get a random item, which could be useful to you or your teammate, if you get one. The other 2 out of 3 times, or if you get an item that you or nobody else in the lobby can use, you have effectively wasted your time. I'm not saying that you should use your ability every night, but you should use your ability every night, or at least most nights, and especially early on. Wasting your time not using your ability, especially as a role that can self-confirm or save other inhabitants, is a great way to speedrun your team's demise. Outside of the few roles able to self-confirm themselves, it is best to be cautious of players. That is not to say that you should withhold important information from everyone since someone could be evil, since ultimately it may be better to risk your life if it can help out the other inhabitants to win. Some strategies to help build trust include having players claim alignment, which allows you to get a lay of the land and build suspects. Someone who is hesitant to claim may not always be evil, and players who are eager to claim are not always good. So be wary and trust your gut if someone feels off. If you're suspicious of someone, it's always better to say it out loud before you are potentially killed, since it's better to say something wrong than to not say anything at all. You may not be able to trust every player you meet, but putting some trust in your team will help you collaborate and escape. It can be hard to interact with players when you are unsure of who you can trust, but completely shutting yourself away from the rest of the players will only make your team's chances of victory worse. Even if your team falsely suspects you of being evil, it is better to enter each cycle with some activity and kindness to their fellow players. Antisocial tendencies like being abrasive or staying quiet when asked questions lead the rest of the lobby to making you a target, hence why being sociable is so important. The genre is called social deduction, not stay quiet deduction. Bunker 88 has many aspects that lead to chance taking the forefront of the game, such as whether or not a dead player's role is revealed, what that weird audio cue was, or whether your ability helped a teammate or a Hivemind player. Ultimately, despite the odds sometimes being unclear, it is better to persevere and not give up. In the inaugural game of Bunker 88, the game was cut very close due to the inhabitants burying their early lead by not playing with the team in mind. Ultimately, the actions of a few determined inhabitants led to their victory. As an inhabitant, the worst thing you can do in most situations is nothing at all, since it gives the Hivemind slack to take over the game. Sometimes playing for the team can seem boring, but in the end it's better to win as a team alongside your fellow players than to be the last surviving inhabitant with 3 items and 10 total words spoken against a full Hivemind. Hopefully these tips serve you well in your Bunker 88 journey. If you are interested in joining the game, the link to the Discord server is in the description. And thank you to Sneaky for making the game. Bye everyone!